Hello class, this is the video about the second chapter, that is utilization of food in plants and animals. Students, we have discussed the nutrition pattern in plants in our previous chapter, and in this chapter we are going to mainly focus the nutrition pattern in animals. Students, depending upon the kind of food and the way they take their food, animals are classified as holozoic, saprotrophs, parasites, and scavengers. Holozoic animals take food into the mouth followed by chewing or gulping it. Most animals are holozoic. We can further group such animals into herbivorous, carnivorous, and omnivorous. We know. Students, there are 5 stages involved in holozoic nutrition. The first is ingestion. The intake of food into the body is called ingestion. The second is the digestion. This stage involves breakdown of complex and insoluble food particles into smaller, simpler, and water soluble substances by the chemical action of different enzymes and digestive juices. The third is the absorption. In this stage, the simple soluble substances are absorbed by the body. Next is the assimilation. Blood carries the absorbed food to body cells where they are utilized for energy, growth, and helps in performing different life functions. The last is the egestion. This stage involves the removal of undigested food from the body. So students, this is the holozoic category of animals. Now is the next category, that is the saprotrophs. We also have discussed in the previous chapter. So the animals that derive their nutrition from dead and decaying organic matter are called saprotrophs. For example, we know earthworm and the maggots. The next category are the parasites. Parasitic animals feed on the body of a living host. They do not give anything to the host in return. Parasites are invariably smaller than their host and they secure shelter, protection, and nutrition from the body of the host. The last category is the scavengers. These animals feed on the flesh of dead animals, for example, vulture and jackals. Students, let's talk about the nutrition in human beings. We know man is an omnivorous and depend on the both plants and animals for food. We get fruits and vegetables from plants. We get milk, eggs, honey, and meat from animals. Students, do you know what happens to the food we eat inside the body? The food passes through a canal that starts from buccal cavity and ends at the anus. Let's discuss how this food is digested and utilized in human body in detail. You can see in the diagram here the main parts are alimentary canal, the buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and the anus. Student, mouth and is completed through a set of organs that constitute the digestive system. Students, once the food is ingested into the mouth, the teeth in the buccal cavity cut the food into smaller pieces. While cutting and grinding goes on, the food gets mixed with watery saliva to form a paste. Saliva is the salivary juice secreted into the mouth from the salivary glands. It is an alkaline digestive juice with mucus that partially converts starch into sugar. Saliva also makes the food soft and slippery so that it can be easily swallowed. You can see the diagram in the picture. The tongue is here. The tongue has taste buds to detect different taste of food. It is a muscular structure attached at the back to the floor of buccal cavity. It mainly helps to taste the food. It also turns and mixes food with saliva and pushes it towards teeth into the mouth. Students, in this picture you can learn about the four types of teeth. They are incisor, canines, premolars and molars. Incisors mainly help in biting and cutting the food. Canines help in piercing and tearing the food. Premolars and the molars help in chewing and grinding the food. Students, you know that at the time of birth, a baby has no teeth. As it reaches the age of 6 months or so, a pair of teeth appears in the center of lower jaw. In a few cases, the first pair of teeth may appear on the upper jaw. Soon a child has a set of 20 teeth, 10 on each jaw. These are called milk jaws. The next is the food pipe, the esophagus. Chewed food from the mouth slips into the food pipe, also called the esophagus. The food pipe passes along the neck and the chest. The swallowed food is pushed down by the movement of the walls of the food pipe into the stomach. This movement is known as the peristalsis movement. The next is our stomach. The stomach secretes digestive juice, hydrochloric acid, and mucus. The digestive juice breaks down proteins. Hydrochloric acid makes the medium acidic and kills bacteria which enter along with the food. Mucus protects the walls of the stomach from the acid. The acidic chyme from stomach enters into a long coil tube called small intestine. The digestion of food is completed in the small intestine. Also, the walls of intestine secretes intestinal juice, which is a combination of three digestive juices. It converts all the components of food into simpler forms. Friends, the liver is the largest gland in the body. It secretes bile juice, which is stored in the gallbladder. It breaks down fats. The pancreas secretes pancreatic juice, which breaks down carbohydrates and proteins. The intestinal juice completes the digestion of starch into glucose, fats into fatty acids, and glycerol and proteins into amino acids. Now, after the process of digestion, it is the process of absorption that has to be focused. Once the food is digested and converted into solution form, it is absorbed by the walls of the small intestine and goes into the blood. The walls of intestine have millions of tiny projections called villi. The villi increase the surface area for absorption and help in rapid absorption of the digested food. The absorbed materials are carried by the blood to the different parts of the body and used by the body. This is called assimilation. The undigested food then passes into the large intestine. The large intestine absorbs remaining water, minerals, and vitamins from the undigested food and push it into the rectum. Rectum, the last part of large intestine, receives the semi-solid undigested food. It keeps the waste food till it is passed out as feces from the body through anus. This process is called egestion. So students, it is the entire discussion of the nutrition in human beings, the digestion pattern in the human beings. We have to focus on the nutrition pattern in ruminants. Ruminants are the grass eating animals that digest their food in two stages. For example, cow, buffalo, goat, sheep, etc. with a pair of hooves on each legs. These ruminants have more than one chambered stomach to digest their food. They swallow food and then bring it back again from the second chamber of the stomach to continue chewing it. Such animals are called ruminants, and the process of swallowing the food and then bringing it back into the mouth to chew it is called rumination. Here in the picture we can show the digestive tract of cow. It consists of mouth, esophagus, four-chambered muscular stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. The four chambers of the stomach of a cow are rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum. Students, after learning about the digestion pattern in the ruminants, Let's have a view on the nutrition pattern in very interesting creature, that is amoeba. Students, amoeba is a single-celled organism that performs all its life activities within its unicellular body. It usually occurs in stagnant water of ponds and puddles. Structurally, amoeba has no fixed shape. It is a mix of gel-like living substance with a nucleus. Nucleus is surrounded by the living substance called cytoplasm. The cytoplasm has water and food filled cavities. Students, you can see in the given diagram, here are the 6 stages of nutrition in amoeba. When amoeba comes near food particle, pseudopodia is produced around the food particle, as you can see in the picture number 2. The pseudopodia completely surround the food particle, forming a cavity called food vacuoles. The food is thus engulfed and taken into the cell cytoplasm. This process of engulfing the food by amoeba is called endocytosis. Once the food is ingested, then digestive juices are secreted into the food vacuoles that result in digestion, assimilation and absorption of the food. The absorbed food is then utilized for growth, multiplication and other life activities of the animals. After assimilation of the food, the undigested food is eliminated out by the body through an opening which appears on side of the vacuoles, and this process is called egestion. So students, this is all we have to talk about in this chapter, and we have learnt many things like nutrition in animals, nutrition in human beings, nutrition in ruminants we have seen, and the nutrition in amoeba. I hope you like this video. Keep working hard. All the best. Thank you.